Hello again, and thank you for joining Jeff and Jenny's Classic Restorations. Well, today we're back to the Mobylette. Jenny's not here at the moment. She's having her breakfast, and she won't do any filming until she's had that. She got me up nice and early this morning, about 10 to 6, which wasn't planned. Took her out for a walk about 7, so I feel shattered now. So all I'm going to do, I am going to do some work today, and as I've mentioned to a few people, that doing this Mobylette, there's certain things you just might as well get on with, because it's just like watching paint dry if you actually watch me keep spraying or sanding. So I'm going to do a little bit of an update, show you what I've done, and also then what I'm going to do today. Managed to get this parts washer. This was in the little green box in the garden there, so this survived the fire. It's a little bit tatty now, but I just checked it, it does work. I'll show you what I have been doing. This is the rear rack. Still got the they were like that, still got the side supports for it to do. As I say, this is all very boring stuff, so there's no point filming all this. And also the other thing I've done so far is the fuel tank. I don't know if you remember, when I took it off, there was a whole, like a load of, looked like filler all around this area here, and I thought, oh, it's probably got holes in it, so I thought I'll probably go and get it, take all the filler off and get it welded up as best as possible. But as it happened, the filler was only just covering the where it had been welded before, so it's actually okay. The fuel tap was a weird size, so what I've done, I've actually ordered another tap, so that will go straight into there. Hopefully this is a 12 thread M12, so I'm waiting for that to come, which we'll see how that goes. So that's that done, and so I'm trying to get these bigger parts sanded and primed ready. We can do a major painting on one day. We'll just hang that up again. The other thing I tried to do, you know, the side panels, this one was one of the original metal ones. Now it has sand down. If I had both metal ones, I would have just carried on. It would need a little bit of filling. It's pitted there with the rust, and the other one, that was quite hard to get all that paint off just doing that one. This was the one that was the fiberglass with what do you call it, replicated one, reproduced, whatever. And but I'm thinking, I have tried to sand this down, but how hard it was to get that paint off, it's going to make it it's going to probably be nothing left of the actual panel by the time I've got that off. Plus the little centerpiece here is broken, and exactly the same problem again with this brown paint. So what I've actually done, I've been on to Moped Land, and Danny there is going to send me a complete set of fiberglass panels, which I will just use fiberglass panels both sides. The other one I might perhaps just spray up, maybe I can sell that as it's in the original. I'll show you in a minute. The tyre is painted now and it's back on, just temporary, the wheel, and I've also got the mud guard on. I will have to take the wheel off once we get around to doing the lighting and getting the wires in again. This was the paint I used, tyre wall paint, and it's actually water based, but it's even getting the tyre on, it's very strong, and it doesn't crack or anything. It's rubberized. So I'll show you that in just a moment. So the plan for today is the pedal shaft things, to get this, not bad. I'll probably take the pedals off and then sand these down. They're not bad at all really. And then I'm going to powder coat that, and I think I've done this once before with the Mobylette. With this one, this will have to be obviously cleaned, take the pedal off, and that can be powder coated. And then the pulley wheel also powder coated. Obviously that will need degreasing as well, and I'll probably take, first time I've ever taken this off, I'll probably take that off, and we'll get that powder coated. That's why I've got the parts washer out. Just thought, give it a go. I'll probably have to take these bearings out, because I had this trouble once before. They're actually in a plastic rack, the bearings, so of course I can't put them in the oven. So first thing I'll do will be to use a parts washer. It could do with a change of detergent in there, but that will be the first bit we do. Well, there we go. This is the Mobylette frame, and the wheel is on temporary. As you can see, that white paint is very good. You can actually use it to paint over black tyres if you want to make them white wool, but because it was white anyway with just a little bit of rubbed off, it's come out quite nice. That's just 2 coats. You see, I've now got the mudguard supports on both there and bottom. Probably will need a little bit of adjustment once the wheel's on properly. I've cleaned up the nuts there, the fixing nuts, and that doesn't look too bad. I'm quite pleased with that. But as I say, we will have to take the wheel off once I get round to doing the light, the wiring for it, because it's got to go underneath. But let's get on and we'll do some cleaning of those pulley wheel and sprockets, etc. As I say, I can feel when things get boring, so I'm not going to film all of this washing, but I'll just show you a little bit of it. So I will clean all this up. This will come off the little sprocket for the 2 chains, the drive chain, and this is the one that actually locks it into position so that you can change between like a bicycle or start the engine. So that will be cleaned separately. And so in there is the bearings, so I will try and tap them out, and before I obviously powder coat it, because I think they're in the racket that they're in is plastic from what I remember. So let's give this a clean and see what we can do. Definitely a lot of grease everywhere. And as always, this detergent definitely needs a clean brown, but don't forget it's been sitting out in that little box for probably a couple of years. Anyway, as I say, you don't want to watch this for hours, so I'll get on, do this, and I'll come back to you. Well, finally back to you again. Of course, everything goes well, as you know, in my life. I was going to take the pedals off because I wanted to powder coat the cranks, and would they come off? No. We're using heat, spanners, vice, you name it, wouldn't come off, and I don't want to paint them really. I want to powder coat those just for the extra strength. So lucky enough, a chap who does my complicated mechanical repairs was happened to be doing a neighbour's outside. So what he's done, he's going to take away those. He's got a massive great vice, extra strong professional tools, and hopefully he can get those pedals off for me. So we won't have those for today, but we're back with this pulley wheel. So this does need this. I will powder coat this as well now. So what I need to do is to undo this. This is the mechanism here. When you want it into like normal cycle mode, that unlocks the sprocket here, and it will, well, you can see there, if I move that back a bit, there we are, so it fits in there, and then that will lock, and you can turn the whole engine over. If that's out, allows that to spin, so you can use it like a bicycle. So I'm going to take this gubbins off, under this bolt here, and then I'm going to try and get the bearings out. Now, as I say, they are in a plastic cage, so you can't just cover this over and powder coat, because obviously they melt. So I'm going to try and tap those out. I have done it before, and I do want to save those because they are good ones. But if the worst comes to the worst and they're damaged, I can get another set of those. But first of all, we just take this one off, and can't go wrong, I hope. We'll see. So just need to hold this side. There we go. That's okay. No problem at all there. Okay, take that nut off, and that should come out there. this has got a spring on it, so I just have to pull this off here, I think. There we go, I think let's do it. There we are. Just pull that out, give all that a clean as well. Right, next thing, try and see if we can get these bearings out. There's two of them in there. Just hopefully might be able to get them to move with a screwdriver without whacking it too hard, but we'll give that a go. I managed to get one out, just to start with getting a small screwdriver in there. So I wasn't worried about damaging it, but it hasn't damaged it whatsoever, so that's good. So all we need to do now is try and get this one out. This one should be easier, it should be. So I've just put this larger socket underneath here, so you should be able to just tap it now with a blunter tool. Just go a little bit around the edges and hopefully it will start. I think you're moving away with this. Anyway, you get the idea. I'll just go all the way around. Eventually, hopefully, that will come out as good a condition as that. That went okay as well. That's all not damaged. What I did in the end, just for that one, to save any, just in case I did damage it, just use a socket in the end and just put that just fitted nicely and just put it out, pushed it through. Right, so these bearings can have a nice clean and a re-grease when we're ready. And I think the next stage will be to start sanding this down while wheeling it, and then we can go for a bit of powder coating on it. Right, I've given that a good rub down now. There's no rust left. I've gone there with some acetone. I've blocked up the little holes there for where the bearings go. This side I'm going to just do a little bit lighter than the front. Obviously that's the bit you're going to see, but the back, because of the mechanisms and that, do it slightly lighter. But let's see how we get on. I think that's okay. Just a little bit there. Let's do this bit properly. Well, as you know, when the last time I powder coated, it took me a bit of time to get used to the oven, but I'm okay now, I think. So on this 2 bars, and then it's normally 10 minutes as it cures. So I'm going to do it 15 minutes though, just to start with, as the oven's cold, and just keep an eye on it after that. There we go, that's 15 minutes, and we'll come back in about 15 minutes then. Well, there we go, finally out the oven. It's come out nicely, 100% better. You can still, there's a little bit of where there's oil, grease has been inside there, but really can't do much more about that. But at least it's 100% better looking at it anyway, so just let that cool down. Right, what we do quickly, whilst we're waiting, I'll probably get those, I'll let that dry properly, or cool down properly, and then I'll get those washers back in, bearings back in. I will put it on temporary, but there's no point putting it on just yet, because it's going to be easier out the way when you do the engine. So let's just get, sorry, there's Jenny out there going after a cat out of her window, so excuse the noise. Right, so let's see, we can get that in there. We didn't take off the washer or the C-clip there, circlip, so hopefully we can get that. We'll have to just tap that in a bit. Well, I've got a brand new, it's in now, I've got a brand new circlip. This was from Mobylette as well, Mobylette spares. Now, as always, this would be ideal, wouldn't it? Just go through that hole and open it, but they don't fit. So we're going to go back for the old dentistry tools, and hopefully this will get it over. Got to go right up to the end there. Oh God, see, this is so, they're so fiddly, these ones. I've never found circlip pliers. I've never found them anything smaller than what I can get. See, so I've got to get it over there. There we are, I think. No, not quite. Not at the bottom. Absolute nightmare. Why on earth they make them so small as this, I don't know. Try and get it on the bottom first. Once again, that's going to be boring watching me do this. Let me struggle on and get that on. Well, I've finally got everything back on there again now, so that's all done. You know what, I've had enough today. I don't know why. It's just been getting on my nerves. Everything has not gone quite right, and say then we've got trouble with the pedals as well. But yeah, so that'll do for today. It's all day doing nothing really. It just don't seem to get anywhere. But yeah, so that's it for today. Well, as I say, I don't know why, I just had enough today. But whilst I've been doing all this, this has come from Mobylette. This is the two fiberglass replacements, as I say, for what I've done. This is the one that came with it. As I say, it's going to take me ages to get all this smooth again. And as I say, this is the middle section. As I say, that was all broken there, and obviously just a little bit of sanding down, but that's all smooth, ready for paint as well. So that will save a bit of time. Also came with it, this is a couple of bulbs for the Mobylette, because it's got the original yellow one in there. And also this is apparently a direct replacement if you wanted to. Oxford brake pads. And this is the old ones, which I took out earlier. So you can see they've pretty much worn and shorter than they should have been. So apparently these will just slide in, and same as those. So I've got their new brake pads for later on. So that's it for today. I'll come and do my usual goodbye in just a second with Jenny. Well, that's it for another week. I must admit, I am a bit fed up today. I don't know why. It just seems to be, it's been all day again trying to get some things done, and I haven't really got anywhere. Still waiting for those pedals to come back. So here's Jenny girl. She's since this morning's had her breakfast, had her tea, or lunch and tea, and I'm still out here hardly achieved anything. So I do apologise. I hope it's not too boring. It's more updates at the moment, but it will all come together eventually. So thank you for watching, and if you do like the videos, please subscribe, and thank you for subscribing if you do, and please hit the like button. So on behalf of Jenny girl and myself, we wish you a very pleasant evening. You take care out there. Goodbye for now. Bye bye.